So I'm outside Chronopassion in Paris. If you're a watch fan or a watch collector, this is probably Mecca. This is heaven, and I'm very fortunate because hopefully I'll be chatting to Laurent Picciotto, and hopefully I've said his name. He's a lovely guy. Anyway, there we go, Chronopassion Paris, and of course, you know, it's a lovely part of Paris to be in. Anyway, so I'm in the centre of Paris at Chronopassion, and this lovely gentleman, Laurent Picciotto, has very kindly, I forced him to talk to me, and I've only been here for a short while, and his conversation and knowledge about watches is wonderful. So I'll turn the camera. So Laurent, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Now you've briefly told me about Chronopassion, and one of the reasons actually that I remember you and Chronopassion is because of the Chronopassion in your title. But you started to tell me about you'd been here retailing for I think 30 years.
More than that. I opened in 1988.
Right.
So it was now 36, 37.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh wow!
And I used to open as a monobrand store with Gerald Genta.
Yes.
And in 1991, I started to be a multi-brand store.
Yeah.
I was not in this industry. I was just passionate because my father used to be a collector.
Oh.
And so when I start this shop, my vision of this business and the people who do it was a little different. Meaning that, of course, most of the jewelers used to carry watches.
Yeah.
And I like the jewelry, but for me this is totally another subject.
Yeah.
So I opened just with watches, and my choice was, the historical brands.
Yeah.
But also with Genta, was a good example. Independent people.
Yes.
With production much more confidential, even if it is most of the time with higher values.
Yeah.
And but with a kind of creativity, at my opinion, a little better than compared to the institutional brands. And years after years, I evacuate most of the institutional brands, at one or two exceptions, and we carry today, after all that time, more than 30 brands,
30
independent,
brands. Yeah.
like the one you saw just before.
Yeah.
So Resson, Singer, MB&F, Urwerk, Moser, and so on. I mean, the list is quite long.
These are fabulous brands. Yeah.
And we decided also in 1997.
Yeah. Laurent,
sure.
What were you doing before you started Chronopassion?
Oh, I used to work in classical. I used to work in the bank.
Ah, right.
A little in the real estate, a little with for a CD company at the start of the CD records.
Yeah.
And one day I said, okay, it could be cool to open the shop that we cannot find with my father.
Ah, so you saw a need.
Yeah, because most of the shop, which is still true today, carry plus or less the same brand all around the world, which is normal because when MB&F is producing 450 watches, at the end of the day, you can have only like 15 retailers.
Yeah.
In 1997, we got a proposal from Audemars Piguet to open a monobrand shop, AP.
Wow.
It was the beginning also because at that time we cannot find a lot of monobrand store for watches.
Yeah.
So they come over me and say, okay, because we had the lead at that time about the AP sales in France. Could you be interested? I say, okay, I will be interested to open a shop with you, but at the condition that I can catch the shop just beside us and communicate with it. Because what I don't like with monobrand store, most of the time, when you go to whatever the brand, generally the people inside say, okay, we are the best, and the other brands are bullshit. Okay, so, and the rules, I mean, my rules was really clear. The rules was, okay, if somebody is coming in the monobrand store, maybe we will sell another brand on the other side. But the opposite could be true too.
So to remind me, at that time, 97, there were only retail outlets that had multi-brand.
Absolutely.
So this would have been, and this was.
It was in the first, experience for brand at this level to say, okay, we want to see what is the retail, but from the inside in partnership with a retailer.
So you only had Audemars Piguet. That was the.
No, we got Chronopassion on one side with many brands.
Right.
And we open just on the on the other side.
Yeah.
Another shop with another door.
Yeah.
But you can communicate through the two.
Yeah.
So we did that for 10 years.
Yeah.
After 10 years, they decide to open their own shop, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was 2007.
Yeah.
2007, Jean-Claude Biver was just at the beginning of Hublot.
Right.
So I called Jean-Claude and I said, what do you think to open a Hublot shop?
Yeah.
He said, I'm not ready because we don't have watches. The production is very slow and the demand is like enormous.
Wow.
But why not? Okay, so we opened the first Hublot shop in the world at that moment.
That was a part of your multi-brand shop, or was it?
No,
that was
still the same. We replace Audemars Piguet will leave
Hublot.
to open his own Audemars Piguet shop across the street.
Right.
By through the Hublot shop that we start with Jean-Claude Biver.
So you would have been the first in Paris.
In the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
The first mono brand for Hublot.
Yeah.
Retail space. Right.
We did that for 15 years.
Wow.
And 4 years ago, my friend Max Busser, we did a video, and he said, we never had the time to think about the merchandising.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hired different design agency with my brief, and they proposed me something that I really like and I want to show you. So he showed me some sketches.
Yeah.
And at the end of the conversation, he said, so what do you think? I say, I'm thinking that I want to open an MB&F lab immediately.
Wow.
And we did it.
But you have, but your birth and success, Audemars Piguet, successful.
Yeah.
Hublot, very successful.
Yeah.
MB&F, very.
Yeah. Well, we used to, as I mentioned, we used to work with MB&F since day one.
Yeah.
So we celebrate actually the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
And Max invited us in Indonesia with the 16 other retailers.
Yeah.
And when he did the story of everyone who was there, I was the oldest to carry the brand.
Wow.
So, but most of the brand that we work with, as I told you too, is Ressence. Actually, this is the 15th anniversary.
Yeah.
We work with Ressence since day one, at the birth of the brand.
Right.
I discovered Benoit at the Basel Fair with just a little table, and I come over and I.
Was he by himself?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, alone.
Cool.
And I told Benoit, Your idea is absolutely brilliant. So we want to carry the brand. Say, okay.
So I suppose an invitation from you is like approaching the best football player in the world, and he already wants to come play for you.
Sure. But most of the time, this is at the time they just start, and we don't know that they will be the best player.
Of course.
So it's always this is always a kind of bet.
Yeah.
Anyway, but my feeling most of the time is okay with. All the brands that we used to choose since 35 years.
Yeah.
A lot of them are still alive and with a big success, and some others disappear. So I can make also mistake.
Yeah. But that would happen in any industry, any walk of life.
Sure.
But I suppose the driver, what I'm seeing is the driver has been your passion. You've obviously found timepieces interesting, you like them. Someone like me who's, I suppose, is a customer type of person anyway, someone that really enjoys this industry and watches, I can see the passion here. But I'm so interested. So 97, 98, when you first opened your door, and you started engaging with the general public, selling wristwatches.
Oh, so 1988.
Oh gosh! So we're back to 1988.
Yeah.
Which brand has been with you from the very beginning?
But because as I told you, I opened as a monobrand shop with Genta. So the first years, of course, it was Genta.
Right.
But after 2 years, Genta was probably the most confidential brand at that time, and probably also the most expensive.
Right.
So I used to have maybe 1.5 person a day coming in the shop, and most of the time running away.
Oh.
So at the end of the year, we had sold 40 pieces. It was good.
But 40 for a year, that would be good.
Yeah. Good, but not enough.
Yes. But good though.
The price point make it okay for the business. But so after 2 years, it was the moment for me to decide, okay, I have to be a multi-brand store.
Yeah.
So I went to the Basel Fair in 91, and I took quite a lot of brands.
Wow.
Maybe 14 or 15, something like that.
Yeah.
And quite quickly, of course, I got much more people coming in the shop, choosing Breguet or choosing another independent like Forget at that time. It disappeared since.
Yeah.
And okay, but 98 to 1995, the market also in 98 was very, very low. We used to have, people didn't know that there is some people who create watches and make watches so complicated with this level of price.
Yeah.
Only a few people from the collector family know that. But most of the customer was people that they buy a watch and we won't see them another time. They just disappear. When you look at the press, the magazine, at the end of the 90s, there is some advertising for watches, but maybe 2-3 pages in the magazine.
Yeah.
In 1995, and Jean-Claude Biver make a lot for that with Blancpain.
Yeah.
You start to see articles about watches. There is this crazy Swiss people in the mountain working on very difficult movements, sometimes spending 6 months or a year to do the achievement of a complicated piece. Okay. And start slowly it start to buzz a little from 95 to 2000. Okay?
95, 2000, right? Yeah.
And 2000
Yeah.
blew up.
Wow.
I mean, and if you look,
Yeah.
we come from 2-3 pages advertising about watches in the magazine to 20.
Yeah.
We got
Wow.
a lot of people coming and say, I want to know a little more about this, that.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, it was also in these years, 2000, it was also a kind of, the economy was okay.
Yes.
People were in the mood of even to say, I buy, so I live.
Yeah.
And with the trader, with the tech, I mean, it was quite a quiet economy with no big problems for several years.
Yeah. The prosperity was there.
So 2000, most of the people in this industry start to grow with 2 numbers every year.
Gosh.
And at that moment, we start to see a lot of people that they say, of course, we got already a brand, even if it is a fashion brand or something else.
Yeah.
We have to do a watch. And you start to see the Basel Fair at that moment growing like crazy.
Yeah.
With probably too many brands, because it was very every year new brands coming, and it was more easy to count the people who didn't do a watch compared to the one who do one.
Yeah.
So people from the fashion or the jewelry start to make a lot of watches.
Yeah.
The old brands start to increase the production also and the creativity to do something else. And we saw also a lot of people coming and say, okay, I got an idea. I want to do something. But of course, the idea is the simple part of the story.
Yes.
After, it starts to be a little tricky because you have to find a good watchmaker to be able to judge if they are good or not, and follow the production, and go everywhere in the world to meet the retailers, start to know them and to see if your product is okay to go on the market, etc. But so by contest of circumstances, I started at the moment that the market was not a real market. I mean, it was a market, but it was like very far off what it is now.
Yeah.
And everything started, at the beginning of the year 2000. 2000 to 2008, even 2015, it was a bubble for the watchmaking.
Wow.
Okay. And after it was like this, but the consolidation of the level of business was already done. I mean, it was like another story that at the really beginning.
I suppose you've seen everything. You will have seen the industry from 88 to today. So that's a good. We're heading to 40 years. There's a good 40 years of your experience, and I suppose my questions are, they're in context, and obviously many times it's our preference. But I suppose I want to ask you what's your favorite brand, what's your favorite watch, but I know they are ridiculous questions because they really are. I know myself. You tend to like a few, but I suppose. My question is, going back to 88, late 80s to today, is there any particular brand or a couple of brands that have impressed you because of how they've grown or how they've developed?
Sure. My first mentor was Genta, because he used to create so many iconic pieces for all the brands.
Yeah.
And for his own brands, every year he was coming with maybe 300 new declination or novelty in a very small quantity. And he was drawing watches every day. So it was like and with his style for his brand, it was quite easy to recognize a Genta, whatever the year he created.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it was also very interesting that that he was hired to create the Royal Oak, the Nautilus, the Bulgari collection, the Van Cleef collection, Omega, and so on. So, I mean, it was brilliant because he told me that at the time he used to go in the Jura to see all the different brands. People open, you know, the little wood door like this and say, okay, what do you want? I say, I'm a designer for watches. And I say, what? A designer?
Yeah.
We don't need a designer.
You do.
We do the watch the way we do since ever. So it was really, you know, the most productive designer and almost one of the only to create so many stuff. So for me, Genta was my mentor because it was I mean, I was 27. I learned a lot with him. And I still love the Genta watches even from the 80s. And I got some in my collection, of course. After there is many shocks that I had in the past, but well, you mentioned MB&F. For me, MB&F is like one of the very special example of, you know, when you see the story of the 20 years, and it was tricky because many times it was almost closing the company because it was too difficult. But Max is really somebody out of this world because it's probably the one who can resolve all the difficulties to do. You know, actually after 20 years, he did 22 calibers, and most of the calibers he did was like very, very difficult to do. And I talked with him this morning. I mean, this is always happiness because you say, well, "I'm not worried. We will achieve it." And on Max is also, for me, the loyalty of Max in this industry make him over the top. It's really and so. And I was really glad when we started. It was difficult. It was not easy. We used to sell maybe 4, 5, 7 MB&F a year at that time. Now we go more than 30 or 40 pieces. And when you consider the production is like 450, which is very, very short. So I'm always happy when we see that kind of success, that we participate at our level to promote the brands because we love the brand. We are totally fan of what they did. Uhrwerk is same story. You know, I mean, and everyone is different from the other, which is also cool.
That's right.
Uhrwerk, it was a fantastic also story when they come to see me. Like maybe 25 years ago, they come and they say, okay, we already do some watches, but we don't have the money to go another level. Let me show you the sketches. I say, okay, how much do you need? Because I want these pieces exist one day or another, and I will give you the contact to see the Hourglass in Singapore, West Time in Los Angeles, and the visitors, and they say the same. They say, okay, Laurent was a good advice because it's super cool. So it was a fantastic shock. But we had so many stories like that. You know, Mother is important for us too. As I mentioned, we still carry 1 or 2 institutional brands. Bulgari with the Octo Finissimo for us is a playground.
Other people have said to me, when I've mentioned Bulgari, they mentioned your name, Chronopassion and Paris.
But we did 3 different limited edition with them, with a tattoo. I mean, the watch was totally tattoo. And well, so it was. At one moment, I even emailing my customers that the Finissimo will be the last watch that I will sell to them. So Jean-Christophe Babin, the CEO of Bulgaria, said, "Are you nuts?" I said, "No, because you create a new watch for men, which is always tricky for jeweler people.
Yeah,
they never achieve that, and you did it. But you create also a new sensation.
Right.
Meaning the weight, the lightness, the comfort. If you wear an Octo Finissimo after a week, whatever the fantastic piece you will choose on your wrist, you will feel it big and heavy. So that's why I did. Of course, it was a kind of joke. But this is not far from reality.
It's not. The Octo Finissimo, that watch is iconic. You recognize it 50 meters away across a restaurant, and again, it creates that conversation.
Of course.
But do you know why I like Bulgari? Because they're a larger company. I haven't had. I don't know much about them, but the reason I do like them is because I've been invited to a couple of their events over the years, and I thought their staff or the people representing them were so lovely. And so I just received that lovely initial brand experience. It was delightful.
The spirit.
Yes, but that combined with that Octo Finissimo, especially the chronograph versions, is so delightful. And I suppose I'm speaking, from my own thoughts. I've come to the conclusion that people, first of all, look at the brand. You do have to like the brand. For me, Max Busse MB&F, possibly the most likable. There's a chap that works with him called Arno. I email him. I just like the brand and I like the people that work for him. But I think you first go for the brand, then you go for the genre of watch, i.e. is it a dive watch or a dress watch or a chronograph? And then you go for the design. And something you said earlier, you alluded to Gerald Genta and his brilliance in designing watches. But designing watches is hard. There's no such thing as... you would think, it's just time and seconds. It really, because you're touching a person's heart, you're touching their artistic preferences.
And the small details can change everything.
And they do.
In a way or the other.
Yeah, literally changing a minute hand, the colour of a minute hand, will be the difference between you purchasing...
Yeah. And you got difficulty to explain why your preference is on this one compared to the other one.
Yeah, and it's lovely explaining that to a person that doesn't possibly like watches. But I find though that these days when I meet people, especially around my age, everyone likes watches. But they blame me for creating the interest and the passion. A month later, they send me an email, Stephen, I've seen this watch, what do you think of it? And I know it's a precursor to them wanting to make the purchase. But
after they called you back and say, I'm in trouble.
No, I've been blamed for bank account damage.
Yes, of course.
But I have to admit, I have said to people before, if you're going to get one of these brands, why don't you find Chronopassion in Paris? I don't remember where they are. I know they're somewhere in central Paris, and it's because I've listened to you before on other podcasts, and I thought this guy's cool. I know that the retail space has many of the brands that I like myself, and I'm sure that these chaps will have come here and taken a look. I suppose we are chatting about the passion of wristwatch, being an enthusiast.
Yeah.
And it's not just because what I also love is doing the research, seeing a watch in a magazine or on social media and thinking, I like that. And the minute you see the brand and you like the brand, it's very delightful because you feel secure in your potential purchase. But once again, because of your, I'm assuming that you occur to me that you probably have so much to say about the watch industry. You're such a a well of knowledge and wanting to access the jewels of information and your opinion. So the two questions I'm going to head towards, I know they're horrible questions, and they are, what's your favourite watch, possibly that you own today, or what watch, as some of the watch brands say, our favourite watch is the watch we haven't made yet. A watch that you don't have today, what sort of watch would you like that hasn't been made yet? I mean, you could offer a brand or a style, or you could say, I want a watch like this.
I know already what will be the next one.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, this is perfect. Do tell me.
I can't.
Oh, right.
I can't because actually this is a secret. The only thing I can mention, this is an MB&F again.
Ah, right. Okay.
But it will be launched at the end of this year.
Right.
So that's why I cannot tell you more than that.
Okay.
But I already got, I mean, to be a little more complete, MB&F is at the top of my list for many reasons.
Yeah.
About the craziness that it can inspire with the difference it creates. You know, for me, the perpetual calendar is the easiest one to set on the market. 20 seconds is enough to set it compared to other pieces that you can have an headache before 15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, this is MB&F's over design of mechanical technology.
Yeah. But you know, after that, honestly, most of the watches that we carry, it is a little like if I buy them for me.
Yeah. Yes.
My choice are not, you know, compromise or commercial.
Yeah.
And if my choice was commercial, I will do the bigger brands that we know all together.
Yeah.
But it doesn't interest me.
So I love that. From my work experience, what you're saying I can really relate to because I imagine that you can afford to really allow your passion, your choice to determine your commercial decisions in context.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is, and sometimes, you know, it's, of course, it's a company, so we have to make some choice sometimes.
Yeah.
But for example, sometimes I say, okay, our inventory is really high.
Yeah.
So I told my accountants, okay, we stop buying. Okay. And an hour later, I called the accountant and I say, I'm sorry, but I just bought a piece for $1 million. I said, honestly, I cannot follow you. An hour ago you say we stop buying, and after you buy like a very expensive piece. I say yes, because we need this one, because we will sell it. It's gorgeous. This is just, I mean, plus this is one of a kind. If we don't take it, no, I'm sure we will sell it. I have no idea if it will be true. So, so it's very, so I mean, the logic is emotional. And this is always the same story. We got some brands, many brands. They come over and they say, okay. I mean, they all want that we carry them. So when I go to a fair, I say, you know, you can, but first, the shop is small, and I'm not able to choose all the pieces in this fair because there is a lot of pieces that I don't understand, I don't like, and I'm not able to do something if I'm not already the first convinced to buy this watch just for me. Other way, I would lie. And this is not my spirit, you know. So I want to share the passion of what I find with the people who come over. And we got some customers that say, you know, not of course at the beginning, 35 years ago, but now that we got a lot of people that they say, oh, you choose it? Okay, so I'm interested.
Really, these are my words. You are a creator of art.
Of emotion.
Yeah. You are because
Sharing is really the goal every day.
Yeah.
You know.
But when you walk into this shop, you're already seeing a curated range of wristwatches. They're all good.
Sure.
They're all desirable.
Very different
Yeah.
one from
Yeah.
the other, but yes.
Yeah. Gosh. And Lauren, so last question. I suppose this is. I'm just so curious. You sell some lovely watches. Is there a watch that you've ever sold that you wish you hadn't?
What do you mean?
Because you couldn't get it again, or you sold it too cheap.
Oh yes. When Mother did the collaboration with MB&F, they did 4 series of Legacy Machine 101, 4 different colors. One was with the fumé blue from Mother.
Yeah.
We just have a few, maybe 1 or 2, and it was a limited edition of 15 pieces.
Yeah.
I want the piece, but customer first. Okay, so we sold it.
Yeah.
5-6 years later,
Yeah.
I saw one in the auction,
Yeah.
and I pay maybe 3.5
Oh,
of what
Oh.
what we used to sell it.
Yeah.
And
That's reality. Yeah.
and you know, but one more time, the rationality is not part of the game.
Yes. Yeah.
You're always ready to do that kind of stupid action.
Yeah.
But I was so much enthusiastic and in love with this piece that I say, okay. Well, it's tricky also because auction is like the casino. Okay, there is a guy who will say, I want it, and say, no, I want it. And at one moment you don't even count. Yeah. And when the result is there, you say, oh my God, we're in trouble. But it arrived. It arrived.
Wow.
I used to sell in the auction 7 or 8 years ago. Most of the pieces are from my collection to go back to zero.
Yeah.
So I sold 43 pieces with oil backs in Hong Kong. It was fantastic. Very weird to see your pieces. And at one moment during the auction, they were selling a piece, and I was like, don't buy the piece you are selling, you know? So, but by the way, the one I mentioned that I will buy at the end of this year will be a new version of one that used to be in this auction that I regret.
Oh,
but it will be a better version.
Wow.
So finally, safe.
But isn't that exciting? If you're a collector, it is exciting. Laurent, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This place is so cool. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So inside Chronopassion. Now, I really want to show you what this boutique looks like, because if you are a watch fan, a watch enthusiast like me, you walk into a place like this and all of a sudden your attention is taken. You can't think straight. You're looking at all these fabulous timepieces that, you know, they really are wonderful. And so if I'm going to walk this way first of all, and then I think I'll turn the camera and take you up to the windows. But hopefully I've captured Bulgari, Octo there. And you might have already seen a few brands that you like. I'll turn the camera. So I suppose it's very fitting. Moser is the first in the window here. Now, if you're a Moser fan, straight away you are greeted with heaven. This is Moser heaven. Straight away we've got the collaboration with Studio Underdog, and there is a pair. Now, if you see my other videos, you might also recognize, as you know, some of these watches anyway. But I suppose I'm not really a good person to to talk about watches, because I tend to point the camera at watches that I like. So what I find is that when you actually like a watch, offering a dialogue attached to it, is not always easy, because the dialogue goes something like, "Oh, I do like that. Oh, I really like that." And being critical, I probably can't find a critical comment to make, but I will try to be subjective and objective. But I think we're going to find I'm going to end up saying, "Oh my goodness, look at that." I'm one of those people, I don't mind brown and fumé brown, especially this piece here. Now, one of the things that I do like about Moser, and I think I've noticed it in all their models that have a date window, because once again, one of the lovely things about watch collecting and being passionate about watches are things that you like. For some reason, I like a date on the dial, and look at that there. Moser always has a slightly larger date window and date. And somebody that likes dates, this is such a nice feature, and for me it's something that I really appreciate. So these pieces here, forgive me Moser fans, you're going to be thinking, talk about this detail, and I suppose I'm in awe, and I keep going to this brown here because right now, if I had the firepower, I'd be wanting to walk out of this store with that watch. There is something about it. Now I know that it's just a strap, but the strap, the way it colour matches the dial, and the extra complications on that dial, and of course the Moser dial. What a lovely dial, and of course this one here. Now at the top of my head, I don't remember it, and I don't want to butcher the dial name, but isn't that lovely? I mean, that is lovely, but the brown one here, that's really got me. And when I put this video together, I'll hopefully capture its real name and the reference number, and I'll pop that in the video now. So hopefully you'll get that. Now, this is really heaven, isn't it? People are going to say to me, "Stephen, you don't know all these watches. This is amazing." But at least I'm capturing, giving you sight of, if I do this with all the brands here, we're going to be here for ages. Okay, let me go to the next brand, and it's another brand that I particularly like. Once again, I've done videos of Resonance before, and I've met Benoit a couple of times. Such a lovely chap, and I think that the brand and how the brand treat their customers, is very delightful. And Resonance is definitely one of those. A lot like Moser, actually. Absolutely lovely the way that these brands talk to their customers. But look at that one there. And of course, we know that one of the things I think people love about Resonance as a brand is the technology, is what Benoit has done, building this very unique aesthetic. Oh, look at that one there. I mean, I know that's unusual. Some people will think it's unusual. Some people like me are going to think, "Oh, I love it." What they've done with the dial. And I do apologise if the flickering. Sometimes the way the position of the camera is with the lamp, you can get a flickering effect, and hopefully that will come and go. I think that's the dive watch there. Oh, I do like it. I'm one of those watch people that like slightly larger cases as well. Yeah, I can really see the draw to Resonance, and this one here with a very grey general aesthetic with the flashes of yellow. Isn't that delightful? I do like it. I do, and this white one here. Actually, yeah, I do apologise. It's very difficult to be to talk about these when you literally like all of them. I do. I would. there isn't a Resonance watch there that I do not like. I mean, I literally would wear every one. Now, from being an enthusiast collector on the receiving side of this, it is delightful to have so much choice. I suppose what I should do is always I should say to myself, okay, I have to walk out the shop with one. Which is the one I'm going to go for? And I think it is going to be. Oh gosh, I've just noticed this is a new piece. This was released last year in 2025, and it's got the integrated bracelet, and I know it's fantastic. But for some reason, I'm walking out the shop with this one here, because there is something about it that's wonderful, that's captured my attention. Isn't that delightful? Okay, so the next watch, this will be very quick, is Rudis Silver. I'm not familiar with this brand, but straight away the open dial there is presenting the movement. It's nice. I do like it. And if I move to the next, we've got there is a bit of flicker in there, but hopefully it's not appearing on the camera. You see, look at this. I mean, this type of dial, this aesthetic. When you see it immediately, it is delightful. And because there is enough visual interest there to sort of pull you in and make you think, okay, well, how's the watch displaying all the information here? Isn't it nice? Okay, so now we have Singer. Now, I've noticed these watches a number of times, and for me, the Singer does have a characteristic sort of design look and feel, and those at the top, in fact, yeah, you can tell they're all Singers, but that one there in particular, that is a Singer, and I love the complexity, the initial visual complexity, and the detailing of the pushers on the side. But that dial there, and there we go. Hopefully, I've captured that. Now, just in case it's not a chrono, I would say that's a chrono, which is definitely. I'm drawn towards complicated mechanical watches, so this is straight in my wheelhouse. But aren't they nice? When you're in a shop like this, when you're seeing, so these are high-end brands, and you do start to feel this height of build quality, and I suppose it's right for me to say that, these are sophisticated watches, and they're expensive, yes, but they are offering so much technical application of design and build, and I suppose it does. You can feel it and see it. It is delightful. Now, if I go to the next one, we've got Burn. Now, Burn is a brand that I've come across a couple of times, and I really like them. They're a super brand. Now, if you've seen Burn before, you'll recognise the dial and the changing 12, 3, 6 and 9 complication aspect of it, of the aesthetic. It is super, and it was the thing that really drew me into Burn when I had no idea who they are. I simply saw the complexity of the watch and the watch dial, and I thought they were great. And so Burn, I'm a huge fan of Burn, straight from the go, because I've met them, and that dial is so Burn to me. It's such a solid characteristic of their design. I love it. Now we have Space One, and I know that straight away that sort of aesthetic is going to jump out, and there are people out there that love it. It's complicated, it's different, it looks like a piece of artwork on your wrist. It's lovely. I do like it. And it's one of those watches that I would not take a punt on, but it's a watch that you would, it would be a passionate purchase because something grabbed your attention and you would like it, and then after a while you're going to like it more, especially when you've been in a few business meetings and people have said, what are you wearing? That's that sort of watch. Space One. Okay, so the next is Armida Digitrend, and this is right in my wheelhouse. This is exactly, if you've seen my other videos, you might have noticed that I've shown this watch before. I'm worried that the lighting is just slightly out for me, but it doesn't matter because maybe on video it comes through. But I love the driving style of watch, and I just love the way that they've displayed some of the dial detail, but at the side, so it comes through on the side like this. As you're driving, you can see it. Isn't that lovely? I do like it. That is stylish. Look at that. If you saw someone wearing that at a dinner party, wouldn't you immediately want to go over and start chatting to them? And it would all centre around that watch. Isn't it lovely? Okay, Gerald Genta. Now, I suppose the watch fans out there immediately are going to be full of like for this brand, and you know, not everyone likes the designs, but after a while, even if you don't initially like the design, I find you, for some reason, start to like the design. For example, that pink watch there, imagine owning that. You know, especially if you like pink and you're a lady, isn't that going to be so cool? And then, you know, what's that on your wrist? A Gerald Genta. Isn't that lovely? And look at the black and gold one there. That is very cool. Yeah. So this is very, you know, this is a very smart, you know, an incredibly smart watch for a special event. I would wear one of these for sure, but I'd be thinking to myself, oh, I do need to be somewhere very special for this, because it really, you know, once again, mechanical art. I know it's overused, but this is mechanical art, a great example of it. It's lovely. Now, Daniel Roth. Lovely, just lovely. I've seen these watches before, and in a previous video I said I think they're just super. Aren't they lovely? Look at that. So straight away you just want both. Which one is your preference? I like them both. Aren't they super? I love the other thing I think I have to say is when you're in a place like this and you're looking at brands at this level, each brand does tend to have its own identity, its personality. You do start to see that, which I think is brilliant from a business point of view. When design links to brand to design, you know, that's a great business position to be in, you know, from a business point of view. But look at those. Now the black and white one's interesting. Look at that. Isn't that super? And clocks. People love this type of desk clock, and I suppose I could easily fall into that category. I could collect these, no problem. Look at that, it's just a nice way to view the time. Okay, now we've got Armin Strom. Now, you know, this is, I think, so these are my words, you know, this is a very understated brand. It's a very lovely brand, and the technical engineering, the mechanical engineering is fabulous. They're complicated, they're cool, they're very unassuming. Well, actually, I suppose if you're wearing something like that with an open dial, and yeah, if you know something about watches, you're going to, it's a showstopper. You're going to talk to someone wearing this watch if you like watches, because, you know, they are screaming that they are, you know, a lovely piece of mechanical artwork. That's Armin Strom. Again, I do like them, and I've met the brand, they're lovely. Okay, Louis Erard, and oh yes, again, you have that. For me, I feel I never know enough about the history behind these watches, but I love this this signature of design once again. It does pop through, especially this one here with Konstantin Chaikin. It's so cool. But then these others, I've looked at this watch a number of times and I thought, it's so playful and delightful. It makes you feel happy. It's got, because of the colours and the clarity, I don't know how, maybe these are my words, but the design captures happiness. You feel happy when you look at these dials. And that's certainly one of the things that Louis Erard has conjured up in my reaction to that brand's watches. I do like them. Once again, I have to say, Chronopassion, they have so many pieces here. Like, I love being able to see, you know, a nice range. Well, in this case, a very large range of these super watches. Aren't they nice? And then we've got Frank Muller, and yeah, I know I've really done it here. This is an overload in fabulous timepieces. I am aware of that, but isn't that lovely? Look at that. I think I would like a Frank Muller. I really would. They are cool. I apologise once again for simply, you know, totaling my my video around. Hey, look at this cool watch, Arnold & Son. Once again, aren't they lovely? It's lovely to be here and to browse all of the watches and perhaps look a bit further again at some of the brands and or watches in that brand that perhaps you haven't spent too much time looking at, you know, and taking an opinion. Now, I'm going to make this almost the last one, I think, Colloquium. Now, I don't, the brand I've only heard about once, but this watch I've seen a number of times on social media, in magazines, and the texture of that dial is unreal. And I wish I knew the explanation of it, but it is cool. It's lovely. There's a 3D-ness to that dial, and it sort of grabs your eyes and pulls you into the dial. It is lovely. Look at that. Isn't it nice? Okay, and very quickly, Ralph Lauren. There's a pocket watch here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I'd wear a pocket watch. Now, Giuliano Mazzulli. Now, these are different. These are a little different. But again, I think it is a style that is really going to appeal to watch fans. And it's and it's giving me the vibe that when you have one, you're going to want a few. Yeah, I suppose that's the dilemma of every watch enthusiast. Okay, what I must do now is, I'm going to make Bulgari the last window that I look at. Now, I have to say, we are really spoiled here because the Octo is probably, for me anyway, it's I would associate this watch and this design. It's probably one of the most successful watches that I've been aware of over the last couple of years. I mean, there'll be other watches that, perhaps have sold more. But for me, this design is so cool because it's so recognizable across the room. You recognize a Bulgari Octo Finissimo, an Octo. And then what delights a collector is the variance. When a brand goes to town at the materials design, the construction of the materials, the exotic materials, creating new materials for a new watch, or a watch that's already been released, but creating a new variant with new materials. Oh, I do like this grey one here because it's a chronograph. And in the hand, that's going to be special. I can tell you right now, if I had to choose one of these Bulgaris today, one of these Octos today, it would be this one here. That has absolutely jumped out and grabbed my attention. It's lovely. Isn't that nice? So, where was I? Okay, Octo, Bulgari. They are lovely. Look at that. Look at that. I suppose, hopefully they're flickering. There you go, it stopped there. And gold. I mean, look at that. Isn't that delightful? And this blue one here. Now, you know, these open dials here, just fantastic. Aren't they lovely? I think, you know, from a business point of view, creating an iconic watch like this, it must be so, you know, nice for the designers and for the brand Bulgari. You know, this is very, very nice. And a product that creates this lovely emotion and feeling. Bulgari certainly does that. It's really nice. I do like it. In fact, I'm going to end this video on this Octo here. Chronograph in grey, and it's just fabulous. There you go. Chronopassion in Paris. So, MB&F, Chronopassion in Paris. Once again, it's one of these retail venues that is like an Aladdin's cave. You know, you look around, and you're greeted with things that you're drawn to, you want to take a look at. So I'll turn the camera. So I think what I will do, watch people out there, MB&F, they're going to recognize perhaps this clock. It's I've seen this clock before. It might not have been this exact clock in Geneva, and I thought, I really want that on my wall. There's something so lovely about it. Isn't it cool? I just love the way that it's so there, and against a white wall, you can't think of a better place to have it. Isn't that delightful? So if I spin around here, we have. So this is also MB&F Lab, and the wall has just started moving, and actually I think it's following. Yeah, there we go. It's actually following me. Look at that. So if I go to the right and the left, that is the. Did you see that? There you go. There's me. And if I wave, there we go. You would want that on your wall, wouldn't you? Isn't that cool? Okay, so straight away we have a clock that instantly draws you in, and you are thinking, what on earth is that? It's like a beetle clock with wings, and it looks like a collaboration with Lepe. And I do the orb. I do apologise if I've butchered the name or missed some important information. Now, of course, this little guy, and I've done a video on him, and just so cool. I mean, look at that. You do want that on your desk, don't you? Now, of course, we've got the other orb in white. There we go. I must remember to take a photo there. Right. So this is where I'm going to forget the model names, but I will bring them into the video now. And of course, the driving watch there. I mean, that is cool, isn't it? But look at this thing here, with the red outer part. Look at that. In fact, you know, having that on your desk, wouldn't that be cool? Just like this, you know, the display in this retail venue. You could have this on your desk. Hey, maybe I'm going too far there, but isn't that nice? The next thing to take a look at is the music machine. Now, after a moment, you realise that it winds up, and music and notes are created by the turning of the tube there. But again, it's the presence of that object. I mean, this is mechanical art once again. You know, that's a piece of artwork, but you'd sort of want it I mean, look, it's like an animal and a starship at the same time, because you've got a bit of a nose here and some eyes. It is quite cool. Okay, then we have an octopus clock, but it's called the Medusa. That might be a very good name for it, but isn't that cool? Right, so I've been in this place for a moment. Now, what is that? Because I haven't seen this before. I'm not going to touch it, but I have a feeling it rotates. So it's like an alien, but it's an alien fan. Not a fan, but it's a revolving alien thing that looks fabulous. There you go. Now, what do we have here? We have a guitar. I mean, look at that. I would love it if someone commented below what guitar this is. I just like the look of it. I wonder if it's actually being played. I bet it has. But isn't that cool? If you saw someone on stage with that, you would know that that is an MB&F, a guitar, or some relation to MB&F. Isn't it lovely? And look at this little meeting room here. Isn't that cool? You could sit there all day with a coffee and chat about watches. Anyway, this is MB&F at Chronopassion in Paris. It is very exclusive, and it does have that lovely feeling about it. I like it myself. And before I go, let's have a quick look what's inside here. I think this is one of MB&F's new pieces this year. They are exquisite, they really are. And the presentation is maybe I've got it there, because the dome of the crystal over the top is really nice. I mean, imagine that on your wrist. It's like wearing a piece of architecture and art. Isn't it lovely? Okay, and then we've got this, look at that there. You know that when you look at this, you could spend hours falling into the dial and falling into the manufacture. Isn't it nice? Look at that. Okay, let me. Oh, there we go. We've got this alien flower moving. Look at that. Okay, I want one of those for sure. Look at that. It might be too long, but I'll keep the video on for a moment. And I wonder if I've got the right way round. Yes, I have. You can see some of the technology there at the back. Once again, MB&F is an application of art engineering, high levels of technical art engineering. Look at that. Anyway, there you go. I've been talking way too much. But this is MB&F in Paris. Chronopassion. Look at that.